From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, China is becoming a major influence in global politics and the economy, and as a result, many people are eager to learn the Chinese language. Every summer, Troy University welcomes a group of young people to campus to learn about the Chinese language and culture. Austin Cofield explains.
Over the next 2 weeks, this group of students will be learning about Chinese languages and culture through a program called Star Talk on the Troy University campus. On Monday morning, Star Talk hosted its opening ceremony, welcoming both new and returning members. This opening ceremony gave newcomers an idea of what to expect ahead in the program.
It is very important because you can learn a lot about Chinese here, about the Chinese culture, Chinese folklores, Chinese customs, Chinese arts, a lot of things. If somebody is really interested in Chinese, they can really learn a lot here at this program.
Throughout the session, learning the language is just one of the subjects students will participate in, but it is also one of the more important ones.
The language itself is so inspiring that I've decided to actually pursue a career in this category. It's like a key to different doors, and it unlocks different things. You can go into linguistics or translations or just, I don't know, it's an opportunity pretty much.
But there's more than just writing and speaking in another language that draws the attention of students. There's a wide variety of activities students will be taking part of that are heavily influenced by Chinese culture.
There is this arts, and there is a Chinese performance, Chinese dance, and Tai Chi, and Tai Chi fan dance, and a lot of very traditional essence of Chinese culture that you can get deep into. And I bet that you're gonna love, Chinese culture in China through these programs.
Austin Cofield, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And throughout that 2-week camp, those students are learning about various aspects of Chinese language and culture from people who have personal experience with both. Once again, here's Austin Cofield.
Star Talk is a program that offers students from several different states to come together and learn about the Chinese language and culture. Tuesday morning, the participants were split up into 3 different groups to learn more about the language.
It's a government-run program thanks to the National Security Language Initiative to help learn languages that aren't normally taught in high school. And I came knowing very little Chinese, not taking a course in high school, but I've greatly expanded my knowledge of Chinese, and I've had a really good time doing it.
This year they're really putting emphasis on conversation, so we're splitting out into groups and we're talking with our teachers.
While the first 2 groups were more focused on teaching the language, the third group was a class for teaching. Participants in this particular class were taught about different teaching techniques by a very special person.
非常荣幸，这次呢受 It's an honor to be invited here by Dr. Xuan Feng to teach at Star Talk and interact with lots of people. It's a wonderful program which provides a chance for people to understand the culture. It's even better for me because the project requires that we teach in the Chinese as a target language, and I speak Chinese. That's perfect for me.
Dr. Zhao is one of the many individuals involved with Star Talk that has traveled far beyond their state's borders for the sole purpose of teaching those that have a passion for Chinese culture and language.
I came from a university in California as a visiting scholar there. Before that, between 2008 and 2012, I was the educational counsel with the Consulate General in San Francisco. I already retired, and before retire, I was working for CAIE, which is an organization promoting international exchange of students and scholars. My goal in joining this project is, if I can quote a proverb from Chinese, which is the master leads the students into the door, where the students will explore a lot of the knowledge in there. or to provide the students with the key that they can use to open the treasure house of knowledge.
Austin Cofield, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Federal TRIO programs are designed to motivate and support students from disadvantaged backgrounds in educational environments. Those programs were the focus of a conference held on the Troy University campus this week. Christy Henderson has the story.
TRIO hosted their first regional-wide conference at Troy University. Students involved in TRIOs all across the region, including Troy University's Dothan campus, Alabama State University, and Enterprise State Junior College, as well as other universities, attended the event. Counselor Katrisa Hawkins says that the event is made to impact all TRIO students across the surrounding region.
TRIO is a federally funded program that caters to the needs of first-generation college students, low-income students, as well as students with a disability.
TRIO is an acronym for the first 3 programs that were initiated under this program to educate and assist students who were either high school, college students, and or graduate students. That was the umbrella name because initially there were only 3 programs: Student Support Services, Upward Bound, and Talent Search. Now there are at least 8 additional programs.
TRIO also hosted a luncheon in the Trojan Center Ballroom that included Dr. Drake Dudley, an alumni of the program, to speak and share how TRIO affected his life.
Sort of what he said was he came from the bottom and now he has reached his potential and he's doing very well, and he's reaching back to his community to provide those type of services that disadvantaged students did not have the opportunity of having.
One student says that for her, TRIO is a good support system as a first-generation student.
The way it benefited me was anytime I needed help with just simple schedule arrangements, what would be best for me, and the best teacher even that would work with me, because everybody learns differently. Anything that you will be struggling with in college, TRIO will be there for you, and if they can't find that for you, they will find someone who will.
Christy Henderson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University has 2 TRIO programs on campus: Student Support Services and Upward Bound. Well, last summer, Monet Davis pitched her way into the hearts of America as the young girl who dominated on the pitcher's mound in the Little League World Series. Well, this summer, she's on the road playing ball and made a stop in the capital city to see a landmark on the Troy University campus in Montgomery. Samantha Kokan has the story.
Little League phenomenon Monet Davis was in Montgomery today visiting the Rosa Parks Museum. Davis, along with her Little League team, the Anderson Monarchs, are on a road trip, playing in various cities and are using their downtime between games to visit locations important to the civil rights movement. The team's coach said the team was learning about the movement, but it was important to actually see and touch the areas where it took place.
Getting together every week for the past 6 months studying the civil rights movement, we watched a ton of documentaries, we read books, we had discussions. And, you know, after learning, it's one thing to learn about something through a book and a movie, another thing to actually go out and touch it. And that's what we're doing. We're touching history. The kids are getting to see these sites of these historic events and getting to meet people that were involved in the movement at that time. And you can't get a better education than that.
As a part of the tour, the team got to see and feel the history presented by the Rosa Parks Museum. But Bandora says one of the team's favorite parts was riding in the museum's interactive ride, the Cleveland Avenue Time Machine.
Yeah, the time machine was great. I mean, I think they really did a great job of capturing it for the younger kids and keeping them interested. And it's really well done. I mean, it's really well done. Everyone should see this place.
In addition to the Rosa Parks visit, the team visited the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham as a part of their tour of civil rights locations in the state. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll get a preview of the City of Troy's big 4th of July celebration. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics. But his proudest achievement is connecting with his students and helping them accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
Last Friday, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of same-sex marriage across the United States. However, there are still some hurdles being faced here in Alabama over the issue. Jordan Elston hit the campus to get students' views on the historic decision and its impact.
The Supreme Court ruling making same-sex marriage legal across the United States has sparked a lot of interest, especially that of the president of one of Troy University's organizations for gays, lesbians, and those that support them, Yana Vieser.
I'm thrilled. I think it's amazing, and I'm looking forward to see how this, in my immediate community or my friends and family, how that's going to affect them, and see. I've already heard stories of people, going off and getting married immediately. That have been waiting for, so many years. And I think that's just really, really exciting.
When questioned about the same matter, some Troy University students had varying opinions.
I think it's amazing, honestly. I think as progressing as a nation, I feel like equality is the most important thing, and this really binds us as a nation right now, and this is exactly what we need. This is the time for change.
I don't think that's a good idea. I wouldn't apply that law.
I feel it's incredible because love is love, and like all the tweets say on Twitter, love wins. And so I think that no matter who you are, no matter who you love, you should be able to sign a piece of paper that says we love each other forever.
I follow what the Bible say, I don't, I don't support it, but I'm not finna, just go against what anybody else wants to do. That's their choice.
I think it's a great idea because my father is actually gay, and so I think it's awesome that he's able to do what's best for him, and he's able to be happy in life, and I just think it's great because I get to see my father happy.
In order to avoid performing same-sex marriages, Pike County has completely abandoned the marriage business, and this topic was one that students could agree on.
I think that's awful because that means just because you disagree with one group of people, you're going to punish the rest of us. And so just because you don't agree with one group of people, that doesn't mean that you punish everyone else who deserves love just as much as they do.
I don't think they should cut out all marriage for people that, probably supported it, and now they can't get married. I don't think that's right.
Jordan Elston, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Despite last Friday's decision, no marriage licenses for couples, gay or straight, are being issued in Pike County. Couples are being instructed to go to another county if they want a license. Well, this weekend, the nation will celebrate Independence Day, and for most people, that celebration will include fireworks at some point. And for residents looking for a big bang, the city of Troy has the answer. Ryan Renfro has the story.
The Troy Parks and Recreation Department will host its annual 4th of July fireworks celebration this Saturday at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The show is one of the largest firework displays in the area as citizens from Troy celebrate the 4th of July.
Our fireworks display is one of the largest in central Alabama, and we have a lot of people from all over the United States that come to visit family, and when they see our show, they tell us that they're very surprised at what an excellent fireworks show the city of Troy is able to provide.
Various agencies from the city of Troy and Troy University invest their time and money for this particular celebration that has grown in popularity over the years.
The police department, the fire department, City Hall, and many other agencies throughout the city and the county come together to work, and the university, and we hope that a lot of people will be able to come to see the show once again.
As the celebration approaches, Smith explains the impact the event has had on the city of Troy.
We have been doing the fireworks show for a number of years, and it's a major event for the city of Troy and the community. Troy, we're very fortunate that Troy is a very patriotic community, and Independence Day and July 4th is something we take a lot of pride in.
Ryan Renfro, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The fireworks display is scheduled to begin around 8:30 on Saturday and can be seen from inside Veterans Memorial Stadium and the surrounding area. Well, Troy's incoming freshmen learn about campus at the Impact Orientation sessions. But the sessions aren't just tours and lectures. The newcomers get to have a little bit of fun as well to get used to their new home. Austin Cofield gives us a look.
The Impact sessions are in full swing, and incoming freshmen are learning everything they need to know about Troy University. But not everything about Troy University is classes, clubs, and organizations. One of the stops on the Impact Orientation schedule is Camp Butter and Egg, a place where incoming freshmen get to stretch their legs, play some games, and meet some new people.
This whole camp's kind of more of a social thing for all the students where they can just kind of get together, have a little fun. Today was more serious, like academic things, and this will kind of get them to hang out, meet new people. They can play all types of games around here. They can do laser tag, kickball.
It's a really fun place. You know, we get to come here and just enjoy ourselves, and we also get to meet a bunch of people who are sharing similar interests going to Troy and stuff like that. So it helps us that way when we do come to college, you know. It's not going to be all by ourselves. We have people.
Camp Butter and Egg not only gives the new students an opportunity to meet new people, but gives them a chance to experience all the activities the camp has to offer.
We are doing line relays and things like tug of war, three-legged races, you know, then there's zip lining and canoeing or paddle boating, gaga, laser tag, kickball, so there's a little bit of everything.
And to encourage the incoming freshmen to work together and inspire a bit of competition, the Impact leaders split up the new students into different competing teams.
Like, as you're coming in as a group of freshmen, and you're pretty much, you know, you're all on a team together, and you all got to stick together, and I mean, that's the best way to do it and to work it out and to go through school. So this is obviously helping us out a lot to get to know each other, and so this coming up here, and we can get things done.
They're really nice, and they we actually was trying to get team chants and all this stuff together, and they're really supportive. It gets us a lot. All of us, we team up on laser tag, and we make a lot of friends.
Austin Cofield, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Well, it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn about a pair of Troy University professors who are showing off their artistic collaboration. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
A new exhibit at the Johnson Center for the Arts is showing off the collaborative effort between two artists. Recently had the chance to talk to the two Troy University professors about their work. And that's the topic of this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. They'll be talking about a pair of Troy art professors, Troy professors who have an exhibit at the Johnson Center for the Arts. And I got confused there for a second because we do talking about art, but you're not necessarily associated with art here on campus, Diane. But Diane Orlowski, Jerry Johnson, let's talk a little about this exhibit at the Johnson Center, because I mentioned it is an art exhibit, but a lot of people associate you with music here on campus, but you have done some writing, and that's where all this falls into place, right?
That's where it all started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the exhibit is called The Art of Collaboration, A Joyous Exchange. Back in 2011, I began writing a series of meditations, actually over a 4-year period. And after I'd written quite a large grouping of them, and they were about life issues, grief, loss, memory, also the art of making music with choirs, which is what I do here at Troy. So I asked my colleague Jerry to illustrate the meditations. And it became very apparent very quickly after seeing the first one that they really didn't need to be limited to a book size, which is what we were originally going for, but it actually needed to be mounted to a full-scale art exhibit.
So it's expanded from the book to being displayed on a wall, which is what, you know, Jerry, you're usually accustomed to seeing your work probably displayed in that form. And so, but how does it to make that transition from what you thought originally was just going to be illustrating a book to now producing what's art that's going on the wall?
Well, typically illustration is supplemental to text or photography. There's just an illustration to enhance the written word. I showed Diane when we had our first initial meeting, I showed some of the current work that I was doing in digital art, and she really liked that, and she gave me the freedom to be inspired by her work. And then we had our follow-up meeting. We decided to maybe not go the route of a specific illustration, but maybe go illumination, since they are spiritual metaphors. And it kind of goes back to illuminated Bibles and manuscripts. So we went with that, and actually we made it very organic. And to be honest with you, it's one of the few times in my life I've had a true co-creative experience where I allow her to kind of give me feedback on the art. And back and forth have been very reciprocal with her. Her meditations are already written, but I think even after we see these interpretations, there are these illuminations in digital art form. They're about 20 inches square. They can go larger, but for the sake of the exhibit, we put them in kind of a nominal size. And there's 13 pieces that we've come up with that have their in tandem with a written meditation that are also beautifully designed to go along with the motifs and the elements that are within the art piece itself.
And of course, and that's part of what I'm thinking is it originally set out as a book, written words with illustrations, but now it's up on a wall. And so how do you incorporate those written words and the illustrations together in an art piece?
Well, some of the illuminations and the narrations are very, they're very tied to each other. So you would read it and you go, oh, there's the elements in what I've just read. Some of them are highly symbolic. And so there are many, many layers of meaning when you look at it and you read the meditation and you say, oh, but then, but I also see this. And so that people can bring, I think, their own experiences to it. I'm with Jerry. Just finished year 29 here. This is truly the most collaborative thing, co-creative thing that I've ever had a chance to do.
And you keep mentioning co-creative. Jerry said it, you said it, and the inspiration went both ways. You mentioned that briefly, but were you led to kind of change some things after you saw some of the work he did?
Absolutely. I would see a particular thing that he would do, and I went, oh my gosh, there are so many meanings there. Let me go back and reread what I wrote and then perhaps add to it, flesh it out with something else that I've read. And so, yeah, it was organic, and it kept growing, changing.
And do you think seeing this on display maybe might guide a different way for the actual book when it's published? Are we going to see maybe some different inspirations from now that you've actually seen this exhibit on the walls?
I think we want to expand it. There'll be new things that will be written, perhaps bring in an educational piece, because we can very much see, we're educators. We can also see how teachers could use this in their own classrooms.
You know, I think the meditations in their own right are beautifully written, and they're heartfelt, and they're deep meanings involved. And then the artwork, I think has its own voice that's kind of deep and symbolic and interesting, and they're connected. But the beauty that I think this might lead to is more of the discipline of collaboration and co-creation. Collaboration exists in the world all the time, but usually it's you as a specialist and you as a specialist, we get together, we all go do our thing, get back together and finish a product. But we've actually allowed each other to speak into each other's discipline. And it's a little scary because we're territorial, but the product is something beautiful. I think it's blossoming into something that we don't even know where it's going to lead to, but we do think that the book would not be just about the process, but it will have a big section about co-creation and what does that really mean, especially in this creative environment we live in.
Well, good. Well, if anyone's interested in seeing it, it's on display at the Johnson Center for Arts until...
It's from now until the end of July.
All right. Well, here's hoping folks go check out this collaborative effort between the two of you. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Aaron.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's all we have for this week. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy Trojan Vision Weekly. Have a good week.